Hello.
Hello.
Is that the mystery guest in the middle?
Well, we'll find out in just a moment. How are you all this evening? Good. How many of you have enjoyed the comedy antics of Barbara Braid? Woo! Yes? Woo! A lot of people. I happen to be Barbara's agent. And because of her popularity here, I have been able to book her on a tour of geriatric units across the United States. Unfortunately, because now Barbara's earning the big bucks, she's probably not going to be appearing again on this stage. But she has such a soft spot in her heart for all of you wonderful people in Country Village that she sent out a plea and arranged for a very special guest this evening. We are about to meet Barbara's 2,000-year-old great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother, Lucy Longlocks. Please join me in welcoming her. You can just guess what's in the bucket. Lucy is always prepared.
Hi, Lucy. Hi. Hi. Oh, it's so nice to see all you people.
Well, we really appreciate and thank you for filling in for your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter, Barbara. And 2,000 years old, I bet when you heard that, you're thinking, we have tons of questions for Lucy, right? So the first one we want to ask Lucy is, what is the secret to your long life?
Well, I run and exercise every day, real early, before my brain stops working.
And, you know, people usually wear special clothes when they run. Do you wear special clothes?
Well, I used to wear animal pelts, but then they stopped me from doing that. So now I wear Speedos.
Well, that probably does increase your speed. But what I find interesting is you're still running at your age.
Well, I really like the chance of hearing heavy breathing.
Well, I think that their minds went to the same place mine did when you mentioned heavy breathing. We're thinking of the opposite sex. And I'm thinking 2,000 years, you've probably had a lot of men in your life.
Oh. I've had lots of husbands. Black and brown and white and big and small. I've had a lot of husbands. But it's awful hard to get a husband now at my age.
Well, I can imagine that would be quite the problem. So how did you solve that problem? What did you do?
Well, I went to an old men's home, and I looked the guys all over, and I kind of liked a couple of them, but what I did was, they were also trying to help me and go to me, you know. I said, I got to pick out just one. So I had something and I held it and I said, I've got something in my hand that...
You want them to guess, I bet, what's in your hand.
Oh,
Is it a little mystery?
yeah.
Is that what it was?
I want them to guess. Isn't she nice? I want them to guess what's in my hand. And if you guess, then I'll have sex with you. So I waited and waited for somebody to say something, and all of a sudden a guy hollered, "An elephant!" I said, "That's close enough."
So we are going to talk about the elephant in the room. But that was an interesting story. Well, was it a good match? I mean, how did it work out?
Oh, I had a really nice husband. We got along very well. We had one hard time to get over, though. He had a feeling that when it was cold, when he had relations, he was cold. And then the next time, he was hot. So he told the doctor about it. And the doctor says, "I never heard that, but I'll look into it for people." So he came out and I went in then. And so the doctor was telling me what the guy said, what my husband said. And he said, "I don't know what that problem is." Well, I said, "I can tell you what that problem is, because the first time that we make love is Christmas. And the next time we make love is the 4th of July.
Well, that explains the hot and cold. So you've had all these husbands. I'm guessing you probably had a lot of children.
Oh, I had a lot of children. But do you know I had 4,371 children, and not one of them come to see me. They don't write a card. They don't do anything to help me. I think they'll probably feel I go in my sleep, but I got an answer for that. I wear Depends.
Oh, you got that covered. So, living, once again, all these questions, and I'm thinking living as long as you have, there's been all these different methods of transportation. You probably started out walking, and then you moved up to a camel, and then a horse, and then a bicycle, and then a car, then a train, then an airplane.
Airplane. No airplanes. If God wanted us to fly, He would have got tickets for us.
You were pretty old, I might say, by the time the car was invented. But did you learn how to drive?
Oh, sure. Oh, sure, I learned how to drive. I had quite a few people that offered, but nobody really wanted to give me a lesson the next time. So I kept getting a lot of drivers. But I had an Aunt Mary who wanted to go and ride with me every time. And she sat in the back seat. And I often wondered why. So I looked and I saw she closes her eyes and says the rosary.
Well, it worked because you made it here tonight. But I'm guessing you didn't drive yourself here tonight, though.
Oh, no. I do some driving. And Phil Brace and his wife, they take me to get my pedicures.
Well, I'm glad you're keeping on your toes. Now, I'm also thinking, probably you were around when certain things were sort of discovered, or names like a spoon, or a bowl, or food like cheese.
Lots of names.
You know, maybe food like cheese, yeah.
Cheese? Oh, I invented cheese. Oh, yeah. I was at a picnic one day, and there was a picnic table sitting there, and they had a jar of milk. And I thought, that's been sitting there for 3 or 4 days. and it must be bad by now. I better look in it and see. So I stood over and I turned the lid off. Jeez!
Well, thank you for naming cheese for us. Now, you were coming up the aisle and everyone was so excited to see you and we're all applauding. And I'm thinking, did we always applaud that way?
Oh, no. That was invented. We used to applaud like this. And that hurt. Every time we did it, they applauded. Well, Bing straightened that out. He said, take your face out.
Well, that was great advice from Bing. And I'd like to wrap things up with you giving some advice to the audience.
I just want to tell you that if you go down the banister of life, make sure you have the splinters going the wrong way. And one more thing, I used to be a cowboy, and a cowgirl, I should say. I don't want to say cowboy. So I want to give you this advice. Never squat with your spurs on.